Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Upper Tier Podcast, and this evening we're going to bring you live coverage of the FA Cup third round draw and our reaction to it at the early stages of the Premier League teams entering into the draw. Should be an interesting one without a doubt. But before we bring you that, um, it's just kicking off here now on BBC Two. So as soon as they go into it, we will let you know. Of course, you can't remember that penalty shootout last year against Chelsea and stuff like that, and that's the cup double that Liverpool achieved and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see going into that. It'll be interesting to see who Liverpool draw. Some of them, Morris in the comments. How are we, Morris? Evening to you as well. Watching it live with you. Oh, deadly. Brilliant. So we should get some good reaction to it. It should be a better. Morris was messaging me today saying, I wonder will we get each other, will we draw Arsenal stuff like that. If you want to look for the numbers to look out for, of course, the Premier League numbers, number 1 is Bournemouth, 2 is Arsenal, 3 is Villa, 7 is Brentford, 8 is Brighton, 12 is Chelsea, 14 Crystal Palace, 15 Everton, 16 Fulham, 19 Leeds, 20 Leicester, 21 Liverpool. Let me see, and I'll just go down here on my listing here. Man City's 23, Man United 24, Newcastle 27, Forest is 29. I'll just check I haven't missed anyone. And then when you go up, 35 is Southampton, 39 is Tottenham, 42 West Ham, and 44 Wolverhampton Wanderers. But yeah, obviously, the FA Cup is always a very exciting time for football fans as well. It kind of gives us an idea going into the new year. The difficulty in which we face in terms of the draw and stuff like that, as we seen earlier in the year with the Carabao Cup. It was an interesting time for us as well. Obviously, we drew Man City, so we couldn't have picked a tougher task in terms for Liverpool in terms of defending their Carabao Cup. So it'll be interesting to see how the FA Cup draw goes tonight. Aldo's there, always looking dapper as usual. We know the draw is coming live from Anfield. So it should be interesting there. Mark Wright is there as well. What a player Mark Wright was as well. Hasn't changed a bit bar the hair really when you look at him. What a fantastic jersey. Bruce Gobbler there behind him. Absolute nut job. And Dean Saunders, of course. Fantastic time. Some great memories, the FA Cup and stuff like that with Liverpool. As with Arsenal as well and Man United. Look at Righty there. Looking all dapper in the suit and shirt and tie, as only you can do. But yeah, it should be an interesting draw. 64 teams in it altogether, as far as I know. So 32 ties to be drawn tonight. So it's going to be quite the draw, you would imagine. But yeah, when you look at it, I had a look today back at said I'd give you like a little refresher, and I'd look at 5 of the biggest third round upsets that have come in the tournament, starting with Hereford 2, Newcastle 1 back in 1972, the year I was born, probably in around my birthday time normally when this was played, 20th of February, maybe a little bit earlier, of course. It was a 2-2 draw up at St. James's, which set up the replay at Edgar Street. George proved the match winner in added period to spark jubilant celebrations. Hereford becoming the first non-league side in 23 years to be the top flight side in a competitive fixture. That was followed up by Bournemouth 2, Man United 0, 1984. A young and up-and-coming manager by the name of Harry Redknapp led Bournemouth to one of the Grey Cup upsets. Milton Graham and Ian Thompson with the goals. Ron Atkinson's Red Devils team suffering their second shock exit of the season after an embarrassing Milk Cup elimination to Oxford United as well. So that was an interesting one from 1984. Let's check back in on it here. Let's see if we're going to get this draw going, or is there some other stuff they have to go through. Yeah, the boys are not ready yet. They're talking there. So we'll continue on with our little history of the top 5 biggest upsets in round 3. The third one in there is Sutton 2, Coventry 1 from 1989. What game that was as well. Coventry had won the competition just 2 years earlier, and we're sitting third in the top tier. For a lot of you younger fans, you wouldn't even remember Coventry in the top tier, but sitting third in the top tier. Sutton, who took a shock lead as Tony Raines headed home a surprise opener. Coventry equalised through David Phillips and Matthew Hanlon with the winner. Matthew Hanlon winner for Sutton were dumped out of the competition in the next round following an 8-0 thrashing at Norwich after knocking out Coventry in 1989. Classic. New games now. If you some to Arsenal 1992, Arsenal were the reigning league champions, and when they travelled to face fourth-tier Wrexham at the Racecourse Ground, Alan Smith had converted from Paul Merson's cross shortly before half-time, and Mickey Thomas, the young Mickey Thomas, 37-year-old former Manchester United and Everton winger, placed a fabulous free kick into the top corner to equalise with just 8 minutes remaining before Wrexham scored a second just 2 minutes later through Steve Watkins to stun the visitors. That was back in 1992. It was an absolute cracker. And then Manchester United will round it out. Manchester United 0, Leeds 1 from 2010. One of the great rivalries of English football. Both these sides enjoyed so much success between the FA Cup and the league and all. But Leeds' financial meltdown had seen the club drop to the third tier of English football. 42 league places separated both these teams. But if you remember, Jermaine Beckford racing clear of the home side's defence to open the scoring and silence a shell-shocked Old Trafford. They're 5 of your upsets from the third round. So very, very interesting stuff there. And that. And if you look at some of the teams, let's have a look at some of the teams that are still in there. Birmingham in there, Blackburn, Blackpool, Bristol, Cardiff, Country still in there, Huddersfield, Hull, Luton. Some great teams in here, especially with the history we've just gone through there as well. Sheffield United, Stoke, Sunderland, Swansea, Watford, West Brom, Wigan, Grimsby Town. Grimsby Town used to go to school with a guy called Willie Burke who had trials for Grimsby Town back in the long time. Brilliant. So yeah, Morrison, the cops, good old Wayne Shaw's team. Yeah, absolutely. Both myself and Morris had Wayne on our podcast. The Pie Man, if you remember, yet the Pie and got into trouble with the FA and stuff like that. Great guest with some crack on that podcast. Go check it out on the channel. Check it out on Morris as well. Great guy, great fun. Ipswich Town or Buxton still to come through. Barnsley, Forest Green, Portsmouth, Shrewsbury Town, Hartlepool, Jeff Stelling's Hartlepool, of course. Who else is in there? Stevenage, Charlton or Stockport, Boreham Wood, Dagenham and Redbridge or Gillingham, Oxford United, Sheffield Wednesday and Chesterfield. Norwich is also in there as well with Millwall and Middlesbrough. That rounds out your teams. That's the 64 teams that are going into the draw. So it's all down to who would you really like? Who do you want your team to get? Do you want an easy draw? Do you want a big draw? Any of you in the chat there who are support our artisans now, you'd look forward to a Premier League team and get that financial gain from that. I would stay in the competition and draw a lower level team. But yeah, it's always exciting when the FA Cup comes around, especially tonight with the FA Cup draw. It gives us a little bit of respite from the World Cup as well, which in a lot of cases has kind of been a drab affair, but certainly came alive today. Some brilliant results today in the World Cup, and looking forward to tonight's game as well. Morris is looking for an easy home draw, please. The league leaders flying high, the Gooners looking for an easy home draw, please. So what do you think of Morris? Spurs are Chelsea, is it? That'll do you, would it? Let us know who you're looking for. Sometimes it's not that advantageous to pick out one of the lower tier clubs and stuff like that, because sometimes they come and they make it so difficult and they sit in and stuff like that, and it can be really, really difficult when you look at that listing that's there. Going to Burnley to Turf Moor would be tough. Down to Cardiff would be tough. Huddersfield, always a tough trip. Birmingham, always a hostile crowd. Sheffield United, doing well at the moment, would be a tough one. Don't want Chelsea, they will have a new manager by then, Morris is saying. Don't want Chelsea, they will have a manager by then. Oh, good Lord. Could you imagine? Just imagine, Morris. Having said that, you might have from the talk that's coming out today, you've been heavily linked with the LeBron James of soccer. So might be a good one to get. Who knows? But yeah, they're going through now some of these memories from the FA Cup and stuff like that. Some goals. some goals. And I love even looking at I love looking at the old gear that they used to wear and the old kits and stuff like that, the old classic kits. City versus Dino's in the comments. Good to see Dino. I'm gonna get this one first. Decent championship at home for Liverpool would be nice. Maybe our only trip this season, Niall. Yeah, no, that'd be great if we could get something like that. Yeah, something that fits in our budget. We might even have to go away to one of the grounds. Who knows? It'd be absolutely cracking, wouldn't it? He's also here. City versus United. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great. Uh, Morris back in. Hartlepool at home. Give that Nketiah a chance to get a goal. Big happy birthday to the Dazzler. Absolutely. My partner on the podcast here, the Dazzler, he's away. He's celebrating his birthday in New York at the moment, but it was his birthday today. So big shout out to the Dazzler today. Happy birthday to the man himself. He'll be back shortly, no doubt. So yeah, a bit of crack, yeah. But it'd be interesting. Interesting to see who comes out in this draw now. So we have Righty's on there, so looking very dapper in the silver suit. Dana, what you make of Righty? Let us know what you're thinking, Righty there. Look well, not there, but still looks pretty much the same. Looks pretty fit as well, Dana. Looks like he could do a job for us still at the back. Yeah. Look these guys dancing around this Liverpool team. Absolutely crazy. But the draw is about to start, so we'll get prepared for that. Should be really, really good. One will Righty draw Liverpool. For a home one anyway, Dana. Be very, very interesting to see who he picks out and stuff like that. Yeah, I love this one as well. The balls are all poured down basically into a bin. It's classic stuff. Like, it's not like those other draws. Those draws like the Europa League one where they spin them around and then they hand you Barcelona and Man United draw Barcelona straight away. Oh, it's so good. It was so rigged. It was ridiculous. So funny. This one they're all down in a bin. You can't even see them. You got to put your hand down in it. Back in curious case of Mark Roy, he hasn't changed a bit. Still looks like he did when I seen him play in Anfield in '94. Yeah, I was saying that earlier, before you jumped on. Looks the exact same, just doesn't have any hair. But yeah, looks the exact same and looks just as fit as well. Like, fair play to Righty. Like, looks the business. This should be an interesting draw now. I wonder, what are you thinking, lads? What are you thinking in terms of all Premier League toys? Many do you reckon we get? Would we get 3? Could we toy down maybe? Interesting. So selected ball numbers there. Arsenal have 2, Chelsea have 12, went through some of these. Liverpool 21, City 23, Man United 24, 39, I think it is it for Tottenham? Yeah, 46 for Wrexham, 57 for Boreham Wood, 58 for Dagenham and Redbridge or Gillingham, and 61 for Chesterfield. So I think we're about to, the balls are going into the bin now. It's a big draw, isn't it? 64 teams, 32 legs. 32 toys, I should say. Be interesting. I love the way they put them all in and then they squeeze the bag to make sure everyone has gone in and stuff like that and all. And look, look, they shake it, squeeze it the whole lot. Like, it's deadly. It's mad, isn't it, in 2022 that we still do draws. This is the way we do them and stuff like that. It's hilarious. So they're giving them a twirl around, and I'd say the first ball is about to come out. Mark Wright is picking out the first ball, and the first ball is number 30. And 30 is Preston. And Preston will play 17, Huddersfield. Righty has 25, Middlesbrough. And Middlesbrough will play 8, Brighton. Righty has number 61, Chesterfield. And they will play 41, West Ham. 3. Man City. Man City will play number 12. Chelsea. Wow, there's our first all-prem tie. Wow, what a draw. 56 is Charlton or Stockport. Playing 63, Walsall. Boreham will play 47. Accrington Stanley. Accrington Stan. Right, he's out next again with Tottenham. And Spurs will play number 52, Portsmouth. Pompey. 64 is Derby. Derby will play number 50, Barnsley. 11, Cardiff. Will play 19, Leeds. Brentford will play 42, West Ham. There's another one. That's 2 we have so far. Number 1, Bournemouth will play number 10, Burnley. 13, Coventry. Just spoke about them. Will play 46, Wrexham. Spoke about them as well. Interesting. 28, Norwich. Will play number 5, Blackburn. Villa. And they will play number 55, Stevenage. 22, Luton. 43, Wigan. 1, Oxford will play number 2, Arsenal. Boys will be fairly happy with that. 48, Fleetwood will play 31, QPR. Liverpool. Who are we getting? Give us a good one. Number 4, Wolves. Another all-tie, prem tie. That's 3. That's what we were guessing. 45, Grimsby will play 62, Burton. Number 6, Blackpool. Marky be watching this one, our resident ref. Forest. He'll love that draw. He will love that draw. 58, Dagenham or Gillingham. We'll play number 20, Leicester. Forest Green. Will play number 4, Birmingham. Right, he pulls number 9, Bristol City. 38. Swansea. Hartlepool. Jeff Stellings will play 36. Stoke. Interesting. Hull. 16. Fulham. Marco and the boys will be happy with that, I'd say. Trip the Hull. Number 14. Palace. Where's Patrick Vieira off the number 30? Southampton. Another all tie. That's 4 so far, I think. 26. It's Millwall. Against 34. Sheffield United. 53. Shrewsbury. Versus 37. Sunderland. 60. Sheffield Wednesday will play number 27. Newcastle. Eddie Howe and the boys. 24. Man United. 15. Everton. Bit of history there. In the cup with that. That's a great draw. That's number 5 in our all Premier League ties. 32 out next, which is Reading. Playing number 40, which is Watford. God, years ago it would have been an all-prem tie, wouldn't it? 49 is Ipswich. Went to school with an Ipswich fan. Are playing 33, which is Rotherham. And that completes our draw. Very interesting. 5, I think, all Prem ties. Not too bad. I did 3. Morris back in. Boreham would be a nice short journey for us too. We played them every pre-season. Yeah. Dana, I went with 3 as well. 5 actually came out. 5. Morris back in the comments. Haha, Potter ball. Yeah, absolutely. What's this? Yeah, the Harry Redknapp derby, Spurs versus Portsmouth. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, some interesting ones there came out. Decent draw. I have to say. Well done, Roydie and herself. It was a great draw. Let's look at these Premier League ones. Man City versus Chelsea is a cracker. Where else are we going? Brentford versus West Ham. That should be a good game as well. That'll be quite the challenge. Where else did we go? Liverpool versus Wolves at Anfield. That should be interesting. Wolves going through a little bit of turmoil at the moment, not playing too well, and we were starting to find our feet just prior to the breakup for the World Cup. Marky's one, of course, is Blackpool versus Forest. You'll be interested in that one, as in a keen interest in both. Jeff Stelling, as we said, Hartlepool versus Stoke. Palace versus Southampton, an interesting one. Vieira going up against Southampton there with their new manager in place after the governor got the bullet. Eddie Howe off to Sheffield Wednesday with Newcastle, an interesting tie. Man United versus Everton, one of the picks. Obviously, I mean, the two that you look at, the United versus Everton, obviously versus Chelsea are two of the picks of the draw. Some great picks there and stuff like that. Arsenal away should be an interesting trip for them. Who else have we got? Leeds away, Cardiff, Jesse Marsh. That won't be easy either. And Bournemouth at home to Burnley, which will be tough enough, I'd say, that one. What else have we got? Leicester away to either Dagenham and Redbridge or Gillingham. Should be interesting. The Gunners away to Oxford, as we mentioned. Villa at home to Stevenage. Decent draw for them. Let's see, who else did we get? Fulham away to Hull. Marco Silva, he'd be happy with that. No, that'd be a good one for him. Palace and Southampton. Yeah, Vieira. We mentioned that one already. Newcastle, we mentioned already. Man, that at least 5 Premier teams on round 4 like Newcastle and Villa to have a cup run. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you would say it there. I mean, United, Everton, it'd be a feisty affair, tough cup tie there. One of them obviously going to go. Palace, Southampton, yeah, interesting. City and Chelsea. So the finalists have a tough task heading up to the Etihad to maintain their status in the FA Cup, entering in the 3rd round. Wolves could be a tricky affair for us. They might have their house in order by the time the tie comes around. Yeah, look, Villa versus Stevenage. That'll be a decent tie, I'd imagine. The one thing you'll find in these FA Cup games as well is that the lower teams tend to always bring a great following to the games and stuff like that. They always have great support and stuff like that. They really look forward to it every year. Spurs versus Pompey. Spurs versus Portsmouth. That'll be an interesting one. Absolutely. And Leeds versus Cardiff. Leeds heading down to Wales for that one. That won't be easy either. West Ham, Brentford. That's going to be a feisty one. Really looking forward to that one. Of course, Bournemouth versus Burnley. Could be interesting as well. But that concludes it. That's our round. Let us know in the comments what you think. Did you get who you wanted for your team? What did you think of the draw? Some great toys there. Some tantalising football ahead in the FA Cup this season. If you could, drop a like on the way out on the video, of course, subscribing to the channel and hit that bell notification. And we will be back during the week with a World Cup update. Talk to you again real soon. Cheers for joining me on this FA Cup 3rd round draw.